Hello and welcome to the special coverage of Mint's Investment Summit 2020. On the sideline of the panel, I'm in conversation with Indranil Ghosh. He is a Managing Director and India Head of Cerberus Capital Services. So Mr. Ghosh, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
So you were talking about the credit stress that's riding most of the banks here in India. What do you think, what's the way ahead?
I think the banks have been sort of doing a pretty good job of taking it head on. Over a period of the last 24 months, we've seen that banks have not only resorted to IBC and NCLT, but have also proactively tackled cases outside. I think as we go ahead, we will see more and more foreign capital like ourselves coming into the country, working in close coordination with the banks here to sort of clean up the India Inc. balance sheet.
Right. So what makes India very attractive at this point of time as far as credit resolution is concerned?
I think the whole new sort of framework that has been brought about in terms of the bankruptcy code helps significantly, and the impact is not only within the IBC resolution process, but like I said, also outside, whether it be through a restructuring under the June 7th guideline or a one-time settlement, which banks are more open to taking at this point of time. That has sort of emboldened foreign capital providers like ourselves to come into the country and provide solutions, which basically enables these enterprises to sort of jump back into action. At the end of the day, this remains a very interesting, attractive market given the population, the demographic pattern, the growth patterns that we are seeing. One of the fastest growing large economies in the world, and definitely very interesting for pretty much every investor to look at all parts of the capital structure. Distressed investing was a missing link where investors like us have come in late, but nonetheless we think this is a long-term opportunity for us.
Right. So, few bankers I had conversation with, they had raised concerns about the pace in the kind of cases that result in IBC. You have any, you see any kind of risk in the way IBC is dealing with the stress assets?
So obviously one can, one can always comment about the pace being better, and with any new regulation coming into play, things could always be better, right? However, I think we are headed in the right direction. Like I said, IBC is no longer the only resolution mechanism. Of course, it remains quite key and central to resolution of bad assets or bad loans in the country. But people are finding ways around IBC as well to come to appropriate resolution. And I think the direction of travel is quite encouraging. Any new sort of regulation will also take its own sweet time in terms of precedents, in terms of judgments. I think we are going through that phase. As we come out of this phase, resolution timelines will shrink, and things will definitely sort of look better from a timeline perspective and a resolution perspective. But outcomes have been reasonably good, especially in companies where there is significant value and companies that can be revived pretty quickly with additional capital.
Right now, our telecom sector in India is grappling with multiple issues. One company is about to shut down probably with the pending dues. You have any exposure to telecom sector?
We don't have an exposure to telecom here in India at this point of time, but yes, it is a sector that we are watching closely. And as sort of things unfold, we'll see how we can sort of participate. Yeah.
You find the sector attractive at the moment?
Again, it's a matter of how you approach it. There are 1 billion customers for mobile phones in this country. So it is a sector that cannot be ignored. However, it is also a sector which will require a lot of patience and a lot of capital. So it will depend on.
So what is the one thing that would kind of make it very attractive for a company like you to invest? and probably take that sector out of the debt situation it's now?
Look, it's not a simple sort of solution. If one had a simple solution, I'm sure people would have put it forward by now. It is a complicated situation, and I think we will watch the space closely to see what is the appropriate solution here that emerges, and if it is something that we can actively participate in, we would love to.
So, Mr. Ghosh, before I let you go, one last question.
Sure.
What's your key takeaway after attending the Mint Summit?
So it's been a fantastic experience as always. A bunch of spirited panelists on my panel who explained the key sort of challenges and risks and the positive outcomes that we've had as far as distressed investing is concerned in 2019. As always, it's been a pleasure to be here, and hopefully, we all learn something new and are able to implement it as we sort of go about our day-to-day work in 2020. So look forward to being back again next year.
All right, Mr. Ghosh, that was an insightful conversation.
Thank you very
Thanks
much.
so much.
Thank you.
So for more details and updates, stay tuned.